Hello everyone! A friend of mine was really struggling the other day with making boxes in Illustrator. So today I will show you how to create a 3D box that you can use for flowcharts or some diagrams or whatever you want. So let's get started. In this tutorial I will show you how to make the box on the left side. If you would like to have a box that is more 3D with a little bit more perspective, there is a perspective grid tool that you can use for that, and I have a video for that already, and you can click on the screen to watch that video. But for now we get started with our box on the left. So we delete the ones here. We will start our box by changing the color here, that we have no fill and we have a border on our box. And we will take the rectangle tool and we draw out a box that we like, so the basic one side. Now you can press Command U to activate Smart Guides. You can also do this under View, Smart Guides. What Smart Guides will do, if we copy this box and then we select it, Smart Guides will help us to snap the box to the other one we have here already. Now we're going to select the Direct Selection tool and we only select the border of the box, the white border here. And now we can move this one to the back and we can decide how much tilt our box should have and also how thick the box should be. So I'm going here for a relatively thin box. And now we only need to add a roof. We switch to the selection tool by pressing V. And now we can select this box again. And actually if you press the Alt key and you move, you can copy an object like this. Now we align this again to the top of our box. And you see again it snaps into place. We switch to the direct selection tool by pressing A and we select the top 2 points of our box. Now we try to align it with the rest of the box and you see here it also snaps into place. If you want to check if this is correctly aligned, you can go on View on the outline view and we zoom in a little bit. And you will see this is not quite perfect. So we again select the direct selection tool, click on the line this time, and we're going to move the line a little bit back. So this should be fine. Let's zoom out. And we go back to our overprint preview. Now you see the edges of the box have a little bit sharp edges. To remove those, we select the whole box and in your stroke panel, you can choose round corners. If you don't have this menu, you find it under Windows. Now we can add some more color to our box. Let's choose, for example, a nice green. And we're going to add this green to the complete box. And the tiles in the back will get a little darker green. Yeah, maybe like this. Now you could add some text. And let's also select our box and scale it down. If you scale something down, make sure you don't scale the strokes and effects, or maybe you want to scale the strokes, but if I activate this, it would make the lines very thin. So you see here the lines are almost gone. But if you scale something wrong, you can always get it back by selecting a new line thickness over here. We can now move our name box 1 on this one here. And let's just say we want to have a flowchart with several boxes behind each other. Something like this. And I will give them some new colors and names. And if you are happy with your boxes, you might also want to group them. Then it's a little bit easier to move them around. I press Command G to group them if I have the complete box selected. And now it's grouped as one object. And now I would like to have all of them aligned behind each other very nicely in one straight line. Basically like this. I'm going to send those to the back. But you see here, this is not in a very nice line right now. So what I'm going to do is I zoom in. And with the selection tool, now as I have those grouped, I need to double click. Now I'm inside of this group. And I can make changes. For example, this can be box A. Now I want to copy just this stroke down here. And I press A for the direct selection tool. Let's just click on the stroke down here we press copy and V, and we see here we have our stroke. But I'm going to copy this one again and delete it, because at the moment it would be grouped with our box. So we press escape, so we leave the layer of this group, you see over here. We press escape, it's gone, and if I paste now, it will put the stroke somewhere on my pasteboard. Now we need to scale this stroke up. We need to remove the scale strokes and effects because it should have the same thickness. And I press the shift key to keep the orientation of this stroke. Now I gave myself kind of a guide where I can align the other boxes too. So if you want to do it very correctly, you can also select your boxes. And in the Align tool, you can distribute objects vertical. And this will make them distributed with the same spacing. Actually, let's move them up a bit so that you can see the names. So I still want some overlap. And we press again, distribute objects. And now I move them with the arrow keys to match them with the stroke. So this should be fine. You can also check in the outline preview again and see if there's any major issues. But this looks quite nice right now. Let's go back to the overprint preview. And now we can also move this stroke away. I actually would keep this stroke because you might want to use it later on. And if you want, you could also now include some connections between the boxes. So we're going to go to our line tool. And as we still have the smart guides activated, we can start drawing a line right in the center of a box. We hold the shift key to draw a straight line. We do this for all the boxes, like this. And now we can take those also as a guide for our tilted line. And if I want to have those aligned perfectly to these connections, now I will select one of those lines and I go to my scissors tool. You find this under the eraser. Just click and hold on the symbol. And I'm just going to cut the lines so we don't have this overstanding pieces here. Let's also do this for the other lines over here. You can also press C to get to your scissors. Now I go around and delete all the pieces we don't need. If you want to be very correct, you also can use the direct selection tool to merge the two lines by clicking this symbol here. So you always select 2 points and you click this to connect them. Now this whole thing is one line. We can also increase the length of this line a little bit. And to make it look a little bit nicer, we can add some arrowheads. I think this one should work quite nicely, but I would decrease the size a little bit. Yeah, maybe 40 should be okay. We also align this to the center of the stroke, like this. And we also need to add this for this line here as well. We do again the same thing. And we can make this one a normal arrowhead. And there you have your nice boxes. Alright, that's it for today. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and you might also want to subscribe. Until next time, bye bye!